Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be talking about the hair on my head today. I'm trying to stay positive despite all the things happening around us. The reason why I originally created this channel was to be, honestly, to be like an escape from things happening around me on a daily basis. So I'm going to try my best to stay on topic, which is my escape. The hair I'm going to be talking about today is the hair on my head. I used, my husband is also in the living room. He's doing his Kung Fu training, so you might be hearing some background sounds and noise. I apologize about that. I'm going to be talking about the hair on my head, and this is by Janet Collection. I used the Janet Collection Noir braid. It's like a Mali hair with an Afro feel, but I don't have any leftovers, so I do have this other one. I had bought this color, the color 60, which was supposed to be like a gray color, but it ended up being pure silver when it arrived. So yeah, it's Noir, actually, apologies, it's Janet Collection Noir Afro Twist Braid. This is the color 60. I did not use color 60. Quite frankly, I can't remember the color I used. So I didn't have enough hair. I'm starting to believe this is becoming my new trend of not having enough hair when I'm braiding my hair. There's also the thing about my hair getting a lot fuller now, which is why there's so much braid on my hair. Even if I did cut it a bit on the big side, it still ended up being a lot more hair than I wanted. I have mixed feelings on how I feel about this hair. Not necessarily the twist pattern that I did, more has to do with the texture of the hair and the dipping process and just the braiding process. I also believe that right now I'm having trouble like braiding my hair and having fun with it because I'm exhausted. And I think a lot of people are exhausted with everything going on with 2020. 2020 has been an amazing trip, and it's starting to affect me in so many ways, and it's also affecting my devotion to hair braiding. Crap. Okay, so let's try to stay positive. This is the hair. I used 4 packs of the Janet Collection Noir, and I actually had to use a pack of another Janet Collection. It's the Reggae Twist Braid. Luckily, I have a little bit of that one. They're almost the same texture. This is what's left of the 1 pack of the Reggae Twist. That one is about 80 inches, they say. I don't think it's really 80 inches. Sorry. Reggae is about 80 inches. I don't know if that's true, but I did cut it down the middle, combed it out, and this is the length of it, so sure, I guess I would give it 80 inches, but I don't think it's actually 80. Anyway, I don't really like that hair. It's part of the, and this is probably why, because it just gets matted in such a ridiculous way, in such, see that? This is why I don't like the Janet Collection Reggae Twist Braid, and that's probably why I used it to complete this hair, because I also don't really like this Noir. So I ended up having to dig into the other hair, and even at that I still almost ran out of hair before I was able to do everything. So I don't think I'm going to invest in this brand ever again. I figured I'd use the silver as an example of my problems. The number 1 problem is the same problem with the other one, which is this nonsense happening. My goodness, the hair sheds so much. Not only does it shed, it tangles. Even when you're trying to just unravel a little braid that you did to hold the hair together, it ends up tangling with itself. And when you're trying to separate it, it separates easily right now because I brushed it. But yeah, in the middle of braiding, it starts to do this beautiful wonders, and it sheds and it gets tangled every time you try to separate it. And when you're braiding on your hair, it gets tangled, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the major reasons why I don't also like this hair. Another thing I want to point out that I've noticed with a lot of braiding hair, where they talk about it being human hair feel, it being light and fluffy, Okay, the problem with light and fluffy, so for example, you look at it like this in the pack, it looks like it has a lot of hair. You open it up, it looks like it has a lot of hair, right? And then it comes the part where you have to take hair out to use on the braid section. So you take this out like that, and it still looks like you have a lot of hair, doesn't it? But then when you do this, like when you hold it, you're about to grip it, you realize there's really no hair. Look at this. This is how thin it is. When you look up close, you realize there's really no hair in there, and it's so thin, so now you have to add extra hair. It's so annoying that I can't get focus. Hold on. I had to start again because I don't know what was going on with my focus, and it was really becoming irritating. And everything these days, everything seems to be irritating these days. My problem with this hair is how thin it is. In the name of it being fluffy and lightweight, it ends up becoming very thin and not being enough to protect your hair. And at the end of the day, if you don't use more hair than usual, your hair would start protecting the extension instead of the extension protecting your hair. What am I talking about? This, for example, looks like it's a lot of hair, but when you grip it, you realize there's really nothing. So you see how this looks big? But when you really hold it, it's just this. It's not this big old thing, it's just this. And this thin, lightweight thing, you need more hair. You need more, or else your hair is just gonna be dangling in there. Is the problem I have with this, and it's a problem I never had with Cuevana, Batik, and the other Jamaican twist hair and the free tress and model. I could go on. Those people understand that even if they're trying to make light hair, you need hair to be able to grip, to braid your hair. So I ended up using more hair to be able to grip it to be the same length, not length, I guess volume. You need almost the same amount of thickness to your hair so it doesn't look like your hair is just overshadowing the extension. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to look for the best way to explain that. Hopefully that did. It was kind of the same problem I ran into with the blue braids, which is why I ended up taking it down. I actually took it down an hour after making that video, so that was sad. The other problem I have with this hair is the dipping process. As you can see, this ends, I don't like it. It doesn't dip right. Like, I dipped it all the way up here, which I shouldn't even do because I just personally feel like when you dip your hair in hot water, it's actually damaging. Normally I avoid dipping to where my hair is, but because of how this hair looked when I was done, I actually dipped all the way here, you know, like trying not to burn my ear while I was at it. But I dipped it all the way there. I did coil the ends, but you can see it doesn't coil properly, which is sad. I think this is another reason why I enjoy making videos on braiding hair, because there's so many hair out there that claim to be natural texture, human hair feel, really lightweight, really fluffy, a lot of volume, 2 times, 3 times, but it's not, because I actually bought one that was 2 times and it ended up being the same amount of the regular one. Outside of all that shit, it took me about 3 days to do this hair, and I am really proud of myself for seeing it through, because this whole quarantine period I've been known to easily just give up on braiding my hair and just do something else. I have been, you know, braiding my own individual hair just to not have hair hanging on my shoulders or anything, or probably because I just couldn't bring myself to braid. I don't know. But with this one, I'm actually happy with the way it turned out. I've always wanted to do like the gray braiding hair kind of thing. I'm still bummed about the silver one that arrived. I really thought it was gonna be just like a really nice gray, but it ended up being like a really bright silver. So I'm gonna use it at some point. I just don't know when. I actually put a strand in here, I think about 2-3 strands, to see how it will look. I mixed black in this one. I decided to just leave it in there because it's like, fuck it, I don't care, just stay in there. It's not bad, it's not great, I'm just not going to use it again. I do like the volume, but this hair does have a little weight to it, so it's a tiny bit heavy. It's not really bad. I think I'm just right now not fully happy because of how long it took me to make the hair. It's kind of that thing, like when it takes so long to make a hair, at first I'm like, oh, I don't like this hair, but after a couple of days or like a week, I start to appreciate the hair a little better, and I think that's what I'm going through right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what the hair looks like. I do like the coloring. I think it's pretty nice. As you can see, I used a lot of black on this side. I used a lot of black in the middle just to help, because I didn't have a lot of hair. But I do think the color of the gray is pretty. I think it's really cute. I actually kind of like it. I wish other brands were making something of this color so that I can purchase that. But I did look and I couldn't find gray, so there's a chance that I won't be purchasing gray again, which is pretty sad. I'm gonna turn around, show you guys what the hair looks like from the back. This is what the hair looks like from the front. Again, this is the Janet Collection Noir Afro Twist Braid. I believe I paid $4.99 a pack, and I got it on Sam's Beauty. I did get it a while back before this whole lockdown started, so it did arrive within a week. I don't think I'm gonna use this hair ever again. I don't know that I even necessarily recommend this hair for braiding. I know a lot of videos are on YouTube and a lot of people are raving about how much they like this hair. Personally, I don't. Another thing I want to pinpoint is that I have noticed that there are some texture of Mali hair that actually may work better with other hair textures. But for me, I think one thing I also pay close attention to is the coarseness. That sounds weird because people don't like coarse hair, but considering I'm a natural 4C hair, I actually like the ones that are closer to my hair type. So basically I am saying, if it's coarse or if the texture is like a legit fro texture or like a legit 4C texture, which is basically like a fro, you know what I mean. I'm not going to start debating that shit. Basically, if it looks like my 4C hair, that's the shit. That's the one I want, and I feel like that's what drew me closer to Atre Cuevana, Atre Batik, Model Mali Twist Braid, and the Free Choice Cuban or something. Yeah, I like those ones because the texture is similar to my hair texture, and I think that's why it also works very well when I use it in braiding my hair. I don't tend to have any problems. But with this type that is kind of more like a looser wave and fluffy, I tend to have a lot more problems with, because I have to use so much of it to cover my hair when I'm braiding, and it just doesn't sit well as much. But to its defense, I also tend to like the Jamaican twist, which is also like a looser coil like this one, but that has a better volume and it's easier to grip that, and it doesn't tangle or get matted so fast, and it doesn't shed a lot. It's actually a really good hair. I have so much of that, and since they have officially like discontinued the Cuevana and the Batik, I think that's gonna be my new friend. I'm also at the point where I'm about to do my big purchase again for hair, because I want to be able to purchase enough for a whole year again. So if I do, it's going to take me into next year, and perhaps maybe I would show you guys all the hair I buy. I am probably going to go back to the old school ones of Model and Free Tress. I'm also going to put the Jamaican twist in there, maybe one or two from Sensationnel. I don't know yet, but I'm going to do my big purchase, and whenever it arrives, maybe I'll make a video and share how much I spent, how much hair I bought, and just talk about how I tend to do that, because in the long run you end up saving a lot of money and you don't miss out on the hair that you really want. Yeah, and that way I'm able to just take my mind off hair expense for the year. It helps me with my budgeting actually, because this way I don't have to budget hair expense every 2 to 3 months. I just do it in one big sitting, I cry a little bit, and then I make that money back. I hope this video was helpful somehow, and I really hope it was a nice distraction from everything obviously going on around us, including all the interesting point of views and thought process. So just remember to take care of yourself out there. Remember to always just get away from everything from time to time, so you can still have some sense of clarity on what's going on with you and then everything else. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.